Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be picking my February TBR, and I wanted to do this a little bit differently just because there's specific books on my physical TBR that I really wanted to get to, and I found that a lot of those books, especially within this time of year in February, obviously like Valentine's Day, it's more of like a romanticized month. I really wanted to read more of my romance books, and I'm not gonna specifically just pick up romance. It could be like contemporary romance, YA, or romantasy. Any like fantasy books that have some type of romance in it are gonna be part of the books that I possibly will read this month. So what I am going to do is I'm going to show you guys all of my physical books that I have here. I'm just going to pan around. I'm just going to pan down my TBR card so you guys can see them. I'm not going to individually like go through all of them like one by one and just talk about them. And then I'll pick the books from my TBR card that I am thinking of possibly reading this month and this month of February, and then I'm gonna, depending on how many books there are, we're gonna do a number wheel and have that help kind of break down the actual books that we're gonna read. Otherwise it would be about 20 to 30 books on my February TBR, and that is definitely not a realistic goal for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the stack of books that I have that don't fit on my TBR cart, and then I'll pan down, I'll show you my cart. I do have it just here right next to me. You guys can't see it yet, but I'm gonna grab the stack of books. So these are the first couple books that are possible books that will be on my February TBR. We have Powerless, we have Gothicana, we have Hexed, we have Phantasma, A Court of Mist and Fury, and then One for My Enemy. And I mean, these are all books I really would like to read, but obviously I can't read all of them at one time. So, and then I have others that I really want to read for February. So I'm gonna show you guys my TBR cart, but these are possible contenders for the month of February as well. So don't mind the mess over there. This is my TBR cart, and for the most part, I believe most of my romance books are sitting at the top. So this is what my TBR cart looks like. It's actually pretty much full. This is what the other side looks like. It's definitely full, and it's pretty hard to move around, so we definitely need to try and get through some of these books on here. I'm going to start pulling the books from the shelf that I am going to consider putting on my February TBR. So I know for sure the first book I would love to get to is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, which is book number 1 from the Boys of Tommen series, and this cover is just actually really beautiful. So this is book 1. Next is going to be Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I really enjoyed Book Lovers by her, so I'm gonna go ahead and put Beach Read also on my February TBR, just because I just really want to get through or read more of her books, just because I really enjoyed Book Lovers. I know this is possibly more catered toward like the summertime based on the title, but I'm gonna add that to the list. Next book I have is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, and I really enjoyed her other book, which is The Love Hypothesis, and so I decided to pick this one up as well. And I know she has a couple other books that kind of fall within this type of like genre, or not necessarily genre, but the type of books where she talks about women in STEM, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to add this, and I just love the color, the cover as well. It's so pretty. Okay, the next I have is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. I really enjoyed the other book, What Happens After Midnight, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this one as well. This is definitely giving like romance vibes to me, especially because of like the cover. I believe it could be more of like a beachy like summer read, but I'm just excited to read this as well. Next here is By a Thread by Lucy Score, and I really want to read this because I know Sarah Caroli really liked this book by Lucy Score, and I'm currently reading Forever Never by her, so I really want to get to this one as well. The only thing that does put me off by her books is just how like big they are, but this is definitely another one that I would love to get to. We have The Stolen Heir by Sophie Lark, which is book 2 of the Stolen Heir series, and I read book 1 last year and I actually really enjoyed it, and I pretty much finished that almost in like a day, so I really want to get to this one as well. I believe there's like 4 or 5 other books in the series, so I really want to get through these ones as well, but also the cover is just so pretty as well. Okay, I am going to add this book by Colleen Hoover, which is Confess, and I believe this is my last book that I own by her that I still need to read. I do have her other books here, if you guys can see them, just kind of stacked of the ones that I've read by her, and I think this is the last one I need to read that I own by her, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this as well. The next book is gonna be Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and another Sarah Caroli recommendation. I really want to read this because I saw Sarah Caroli really rave about this book, and so it really piqued my interest, especially when you see like some of your favorite like booktubers or book talkers talk about certain books that they really enjoyed. It always makes me want to pick them up as well, so this is another book that I picked up because of her, so I'm really intrigued. I have Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and I heard a lot about this book when I first started getting back into reading and like getting into book talk and stuff. This one is definitely one that I believe talks a lot about like addiction, so I really want to see what the hype is around this series. And I know there's like I don't know if that's like another spin-off series based on the original books or what it is, but I know there's like a lot of books that are kind of intertwined with this story, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that. So I think the last book I'm gonna add is gonna be Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, and I know there's a lot of, I feel like, controversy with this book. I wouldn't say controversy, but there's a lot of like people who really enjoyed it and people who just really don't. So I've always been kind of intrigued to see what this book is about. I think this is like a stalker kind of romance, possibly. I'm not really sure what to expect from this book. I just know that this is more like a darker type of book, and I am not opposed to reading like dark romance. I actually really enjoy dark romance, but I don't know what it is about this book that just people either love or hate. I feel like there's like not really an in-between, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this because I'm just really intrigued to figure out why people either hate it or love it. So I'm gonna add Haunting Adeline. I don't have the second book, which I believe is called Hunting Adeline. I do know that they're like a duology, so if this is one of the books I end up picking, then I guess we may have to pick up the second book, but we'll see. But I'm gonna add this as well. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for now for the books that I am going to for sure add on that list of books that are high contenders for my February TBR, just because I feel like there's at least 10 to 15 books already on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stack them up on the floor, and then we're gonna pull up the like number wheel thing, and we're gonna start seeing what books get picked. I think what I'm gonna do is count how many books I have and then use the like random number generator and see what books we're gonna add to our TBR and go from there. We have 16 books that are gonna be the max to pick from. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the number generator 6 times, and then we'll see at the end. I'll keep track of what numbers pop up, and then at the end we'll pull the books that are associated to that number. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the generator. 4 is the first one. Okay, I'm just gonna take screenshots of them. So we have 1, we have 15, we have 7. I think that was what, 3 that I just did. Let me make sure. Yeah, so far we have 3. We need 3 more. 5. 6. Last one. And 8. Okay, let's see. So we have 4, 15, 7, 5, 6, and 8. Okay, let me show you the stack of books and then we'll go ahead and start pulling them. So I have the stack of books here. So I went from top to bottom and then from bottom to top. So book number 4 is going to be Hexed by Emily McIntyre. So let's go ahead and pull that. Oh wait, yeah, book 4. So book 4 is Hexed. Next we have book 15. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we have Addicted to You. Next we have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have Binding 13. I'm just gonna put you guys on the floor. Oh, it's heavy. We have Binding 13. Next we have 5. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Gothicana. And then we have 6, which is going to be Powerless. Oh my god. And lastly, 8 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is going to be Beach Read by Emily Henry. Okay guys, I'm sitting on the floor just because I'm half the books that are going to be on my February TBR. So it's a good mixture, I feel like. It's not anything too crazy. So, well, some of the books are quite thick, but okay. So the first book that I have that's going to be part of the February TBR is going to be Hexed by Emily McIntyre. I really enjoyed her other retellings as well. I believe their genre is more like dark romance, but I really enjoyed them. I believe this is the last book of the series, and I believe this is a Little Mermaid retelling, but I'm not 100% sure. But this cover is actually really, really cool. Like, I love the shine of the shell, so I'm pretty sure this is a Little Mermaid retelling, but very excited to finally read this book as well. I believe it's been out for at least a couple months, if not more. Not necessarily sure the release date for this one, but I do know that it came out in 2024, so very excited to read this. Like I said, I've really enjoyed her other books as well, so I'm assuming I'm going to also enjoy this one. The next one that I have is going to be Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, and I'm very excited to finally get to this series as well. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. I've just heard a lot of people talk about how much they love these books, so I'm very excited. This one is definitely very floppy. This edition of the book is really pretty, and I'm hoping to collect the rest of these as well. It's just it's definitely much more of a taller book, so we'll see how that fits on my shelves, but I'm very excited for this. The next I have is Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and I believe this is a romance book that also touches on issues like of addiction, which is very different to, I feel like, books that I've read prior. So I'm excited to see what this book entails, because I know there's a lot of books that are kind of part of this world. One of the reasons why I'm very intrigued to read this book is because I believe the female main character is addicted to like sex. I believe that's like her addiction, so very interested to see how this is gonna go, especially in this, like, I believe, romance book. So yeah, I'm excited to read this as well. Next I have Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I really enjoyed Book Lovers by her. I believe that she's definitely going to be an author that I continue reading books from, and I'm very excited to read this as well. I don't really know what this book is about, but I typically like going into books more blind than knowing, so that way I don't kind of set my mind on certain things and then, you know, expect certain things from the books. But very excited for this one. I know I should probably save this for summer, but I actually just really want to read another one of her books, so that's why I put it on the stack of books that I wanted to get to. But I'm excited to read Beach Read. And then the last two books is gonna be Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which is long overdue that I get to this book, because I know people just love this romantic book, and I'm just really intrigued to know what this book has to offer me. And I know that there's, I believe, 2 books in the series and a novella, which I do have. The others is like the novella Powerful and Reckless as well. I don't know, I believe there might be a third in the actual like series, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm finally gonna get to this hopefully this month, and I am very excited about it because I know this book is really well loved. Lauren Roberts first started off posting about her writing journey on, I believe, TikTok, and then she is able to publish her books now, which is pretty cool. So I'm very excited for that. Then last but not least is a dark romance by Runix, I believe is how you say the name, but this is Gothicana, and I've never heard of this author before. I bought this book, actually my fiance bought me the book last year for my birthday. He took me on a little shopping spree to Barnes & Noble, which was really fun, and I'm finally getting around to this, and this is going to be the last book that we picked for the February TBR. Okay, so these are the books. Oh my god. Oh gosh, I don't want them to fall. Okay, so these are the books on my February TBR, and I'm very excited to get through these and see what the hype is all about with all these, because I haven't read any of these before, or I've just heard a lot about them, and I'm just very excited to finally get to them. So yeah, this is my stack of my February TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'm able to film reading vlogs for these books, just because I feel like it's kind of hard to film when majority of the time I'm only reading early in the morning or later in the night once I'm home from work. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know down below what your what your February TBR is looking like, or any books that you are wanting to read in February. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!